So we had a meeting with the police last week to get ready for this one, and we're looking at the security profiles and all that fun and exciting stuff. We recognize that you have a very special clientele, a clientele that's basically like a very large extended family. It seemed to get along a lot better than my extended family. So congratulations. So we're trying to come up with what is responsible and reasonable and all that good fun and exciting stuff. Because one of the things that we have, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you were able to do a pop-up concert downtown on a city street. Kudos to you, that's incredible. In our world, it's a lot more regulated. This land, the dirt belongs to the county. I'm regulated by the state, so it's like all of these people like doing fun and exciting things. So we wanted to get some more details from you about how the program is going to roll, because part of that, one of the things that we're concerned about is the amount of time it's going to take to get people checked in. We want to make sure that there's something to keep them happy while they're sitting here waiting for the show to start. You know, but that's kind of important. There's still a concern from Carol Ann, because Carol Ann's people, okay, so Carol Ann here, she does our security for us. She's our security contractor.
Hello?
So I think that's the parking lot, so it's kind of a hand-in-hand thing for me.
And so, you know, she's looking at what her people are facing in the parking lot. If, you know, we talked about the 4,500, and now we're looking at 2,000, then 2,500, and she's concerned about handling the people that we end up having to turn away. And so, because her people are going to be on the front line of that. So, I know we had also talked about, you know, splitting the parking, splitting the food, and all of that stuff. So, it's a new world for us. So I would really love if you take a few minutes and explain this business model and how it works, so that we can understand it better. And I think then we can meet your needs better.
In terms of what, how we split, or how we do the process of flowing people in?
Let's do the whole world.
So, say 2,500, like we recently did Midway in San Francisco, about 3,000 people. Okay. Generally, it'll take an hour and a half to 2 hours to check everyone in, depending on how we do the flow. We could either do a line, 4 tiers, and have 4 of our people there, or do it with 2, but it should only take about an hour and a half, 2 hours. While we do that, we allow music to play. Everyone who comes to our shows is familiar with this flowing process, so they usually use that time to buy merchandise from the vendor, to get food, to use the restroom, to get water, to mingle within the community. Like say that downtown show we did, there were probably about 2.5, 3 hours prior to the show where there's just this 7,500 people just getting food, mingling, and doing their thing until showtime. So I think that's standard for shows, and people are used to that. In terms of parking, I don't see us having to turn anyone away if we do. You know, we verify tickets entering the lot. Instead of us doing tickets at this gate, we do tickets coming into the lot. So there shouldn't even be a car coming in if they don't have tickets. And we generally don't have many people pop up at the door without a ticket, you know, and I could elaborate in the marketing prior that there's no door ticket. So we usually don't have that issue though. But that'll mitigate all of the parking issues. If they don't have a ticket, then they can't even bring the car in, so we don't have to usher or escort anyone back out. In terms of the split, so if we do in the partnership side and we just go 50-50, then I think that makes it easier for everybody, because then I can just cover costs. Otherwise, I would like to do the parking buyout so the people who are already attending my show don't have to have an extra worry. You know, some people spend their last to come to these shows, and if they come and now they have to pay for this and this and that, it just kind of alters their experience. But you know, I would rather go 50-50 so we could allow everyone to just, at least for this first one, so people could just get the experience of coming back to the fair and experiencing something they love without issue or pressure. For security, I'm really unsure what's necessary because we had 7,500 people unsanctioned and nothing happened. So my thing, I feel like there's more safety inside of us. And like if anything was to happen, it would happen where people had to go through nothing and they could have brought weapons or anything and no issues occurred. So I don't foresee any. So I'm not sure what would make you guys comfortable in terms of security. But if nothing happened there, it'd be hard to see people, you know, come into a regulated space and something happening. So I think the presence is always good, just so people feel a little more secure. But you know, the type of base and energy, like we haven't had something like this in so long. People are just excited to be able to experience this kind of thing in Vallejo again. And run a show. Only thing, we'll come in early for setup, but from the time doors is to show, I said it's just that hour and a half, 2 hour in between, and then I'm going straight on. There's no like openers or anything, and my set will be for an hour and a half. So the whole active hour of the show would only be about 3 to 4 hours max. And then after, as they're breaking down, I'll move around and take pictures and do things like that. But it'll only be about 4 active hours of show of people here and people out.
And so it sounded like you were comfortable with having your people doing the bag checks and all that good stuff as people came in.
Yeah, at least the door. We could have security there if they want to do the bag check, like the extra checks, but we're comfortable having our team doing it as well. And people are very familiar because we're in the community and they're active. Like just having that transition, because I told you another big thing is having like people feel welcome. And sometimes when we do outside security, it's just an energy. You know, everyone doesn't love the job or what they do, and I don't want people having to come in and get any type of outside pressure. I want them to make sure they can experience something and they know that it's the same as when they come to any other LaRussell show. We're just able to do this bigger now. So I'm open to having our people there at the door doing the greeting and on the parking side when cars are coming in. We have enough people to accommodate that. And that's something that we do when we go into larger venues. We make sure that they're welcomed in. So they just, all throughout the process, they're getting that energy, you know, that they came to the show for.
And we can do that in tandem, so that way we're comfortable and your team is comfortable as well.
Exactly.
And I think that would work best, especially building long term. So in the future shows, when we can finally transition, we'll have that. But in these initial phases, just having us involved in every piece, so you guys kind of see how we work and integrate within the people as well.
Any thoughts, Carol?
Well, I just wondered, when you did the 7,500 people in an hour and a half or 2 hours, did you use the Evolve or an open gate system? Or did you use magnetometers, or did you hand wand?
There was nothing. We were in the middle of downtown Vallejo.
So you didn't check for any type of
We
weapon?
We couldn't.
Other than a mag.
It wasn't ticketed at all.
The city. You know, it's just you could
so I think
anyway.
part of it is usually when we have an event like yours here, we have some form of that, not just a bag check. There's a magnetometer, whether it's hand wands or walkthroughs. We tried to see if we couldn't get an Evolve system. They do about 3,900 people an hour. It's a system with AI technology where we don't even have to touch the people. Awesome vibe, because we don't have to touch the people. The system does that, but none were available at this short notice. So we were unable to give you a quote. That's just what I was worried about. Was I wasn't sure you had what you had going on while we load people in, and what do they do while we're trying to get everybody in before you go on stage, because that would be our goal, is not to be processing people at your gate when you're on stage. Is to have all that group in and everybody happy and everybody ready to see you. So I was just concerned about that, because to check one person is about 20 to 30 seconds. So when you start timing that 30 seconds by 2,000 people, all of a sudden, mathematically, we're looking at 3 or 4 hours. So I was concerned. So usually how we solve that problem is, if 4 lanes is going to do 1,000 people, then we need 8 lanes or 10 lanes, so that that group of people that were to go in. And then I talked with Tom and Steve and the officers about, you know, while the security call may look large, part of it would begin at the main gate to get your crowd in a nice, expedient way with a good vibe. And then once the crowd is in, part of that team would peel off from there to move to help monitor people in the arena. So you're not paying for extra people up here for people over there. There would be a kind of a base team in place around your perimeter and then another level of team that would start it at the main gate to get the crowd in, security-wise. And then once the bulk of your crowd is in, then they would come in to be rovers into the arena area to try to keep costs there. And then as far as parking, we didn't really have any issue with checking anybody's ticket. I had just read on your website that your model is whatever they can pay. So I worried about the people who may not be reading or realizing, and they just show up at the gate with no ticket, and I would assume, depending on who's on your website, you didn't up to the concert, maybe you hit the 2,000, maybe we're moving to 2,500, maybe now we're moving to 3,000. If we had a cutoff and some of those people showed up with no tickets at all, and we try to turn them away and they don't want to be turned away, I think part of it for us too is once they come into our parking stalls, they're kind of in. Right? To get them out, we have to actually escort them out. So I'm worried about that group of people that you may be sold out and they don't have a ticket and they refuse to leave. And then I worry that that multiplies because I think it's a good model, but some people just expect that they don't necessarily need or know that they need an online ticket. So how do we handle that group of people out front in the parking lot if they show up? That's the hard part, sir. Since we've never done one with you, we don't really know what to expect. So we tend to err on the side of caution more than less. Because more we can peel off and send home, less we can't get anybody out here to help manage your crowd if it were to become bigger than our estimate.
I think I'll handle a lot of that in the marketing of it and the communication, but we've done over 100 shows this way, and I've yet to experience that. Yeah, I've never.
People don't show up.
Even people who have came at the door, I've yet to see someone be reluctant to leave.
Okay.
You know, so
no, that's good news.
But we're willing to, like, having our people at the door is an easy mitigation to that.
Okay.
But yeah, I've yet to experience it in every city we've thrown the show. Even when we do our Vallejo shows at Empress and I've yet to experience that.
And when we have our people at the door, our level of communication is able to tell them, like, either this is a sold out event or you can get a ticket, but you have to go online, and we kind of just like walk them through that process. But every time somebody has shown up without a ticket, it's been pretty seamless on getting them in. Or even people who show up with extra tickets are like, hey, I'll give them a ticket or whatever. So it's a very community process in making sure everybody gets in and is taken care of.
Yeah, and we're going to over-communicate on the marketing end for this, being that it's the first one. But just traditionally, when people experience festivals, it's never... you can never really buy a ticket at the door to an event like this. So I think people are kind of conditioned. Like I said, the shows that we throw, we're not really. It'll probably be some new people, but for the most part, this is the base that has been attending our shows for years. They just finally get to do it in this capacity, so they're very, very familiar.
And did you get mags? Or we're gonna go on? Because that makes a difference in staffing too. The mags are inherently a little bit faster than wands and wanding.
Well, we have our 2 mags, but I haven't ordered anything else.
Okay.
The other thing that, you know, I'm assuming that because like all of the other music festivals and whatnot, they have clear bags and all of that good fun and exciting stuff. So that should make bag check much more faster. I know in some places even, you know, limit the size of the bags that the ladies can bring in and such. I have no idea what your model looks like, if that's something similar.
Yeah, I think we could abide by all those principles still.
Yeah, we can kind of run as a standard fest.
You know, all that stuff is going to shave seconds off as people are coming through the gates.
Yeah.
You know.
Now what about food chests, ice chests, stuff like that? You let it through, or you can't come in?
No, we would keep all that out because we usually set up ice chests and provide water and everything within the facility for people to be able to get. So yeah, like no one could bring in things like that. And we're gonna, when we do the marketing materials, it'll have like all of this information on it as well. You know, map, process, how it's coming in. Like I said, we're gonna over communicate that information just so people are sure. And you know, you'll always have a few people who hit and miss, but I think that's easy communication for our crowd.
I think it would be helpful too if we had like signs as people are coming in that we can create for every car that comes in, so they see all the policies and whatnot. So whatever they have, they can just leave in their cars.
We have
Beautiful.
Nice.
We have
This isn't your first one.
No, most of our clients are no outside food or drink, no outside alcohol, of course no weapons, you know, various other prohibited items, service animals only, all your basic normal prohibited items that you would have at any type of music festival.
We never had no problem. They just come in and party and they get out.
Same.
You know,
That's the plan.
That's what we want. Come in, enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do what you do afterwards and leave, you know. So we never had no problem with that. Never.
We want you to be successful so we can do more than one. Right? A year.
Exactly.
From the sheriff's office, we've been here, we've done these events for a long time here, in partnership with the fair, and we are here 100% to ensure that everybody that comes to that gate is safe. We're not here to sit there and enforce things. If we have to enforce things, we'll enforce things, but our primary goal is that everybody that comes in here, good customer service from the sheriff's office. We're behind the scenes that they may see us, but we're not there. We're interacting with them on a pleasant level, on a hey, how's it going level. We're not there to go and be doing enforcement unless we absolutely have to, where it's brought to our attention by patrons, brought to our attention by your staff, brought to our attention by the fair staff. But we're merely here to keep the peace, keep everybody safe, getting everybody in and out in an expedited manner, and make sure that you get back to do it again later on. So. That's customer service is what we're here for.
And one of the nice things about Carol Ann's staff is, some private security firms, they come in with their little vests on and kind of strutty. And Carol Ann's people aren't that way. It's usually black pants, and she's got a regulation golf shirt that they wear. And that's the extent of it. So it's not that really strong, aggressive presence. It's very much a soft presence.
We do not look tactical. We look more like Disneyland greeters with a nice dress polo shirt and everybody in matching black pants. And our attitude with your patrons are more on how can we help you? This is what the path you need to follow to the event, or this is the path where you need to take your car. There's a lot of welcoming them, so glad you're here, that's the entrance. And then later on, throughout your event, we will help them. Oh, where's the restrooms? You can find them here, 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 here. Or more like a walking information booth, and then at the end of the night, that's the same thing. Thank you for coming, and now it's time for you to go home. If you want to hang out, you can. You just can't hang out here anymore. And we try to gently push them out. We don't really push out kind of in one wave. We'll get the bulk of the crowd out, and then we'll keep coming back out and pushing other than your back of the house staff, right? Because they'll need time to tear down and get you all put back together again for the next place you're going. So it'll be multiple sweeps on your vendors. If they're selling an item, we won't stop people in line. We'll push who's not shopping out, and then we'll come back and keep pushing so that your vendors can actually make the most amount of sales possible. So it's always worth them coming back with you, so they don't ever come to you and go, hey, we had 10 people in line and those security guys whacked our line out and we lost however many, several hundreds of dollars. We don't do that at all. We're just very gentle and more customer service. We want everybody when they leave the fairgrounds to talk about how great it was here and what a good time they had.
Right.
So that's kind of the vibe we put off.
That's in line. And that's what everyone who attends our shows currently experience. And we would hate to come to a new place and now that experience changes.
Right.
Everyone who comes feels like they're going to Disneyland. So we want them to be.
So you won't really see my team. We won't look really tactical at all. We look more customer service, and our SO is the tactical look.
That's beautiful. That gives our crowd the opportunity to experience the extended Vallejo family in the same fashion that we provide. So that would be lovely.
And the fairgrounds basically becomes like an extension of your house, And so when we talk about doing these sweeps, but then you also tell us, how long you want us to wait after the concert before you want us to start pushing them out too. So most of them will start buzzing out probably pretty close to as soon as the last song is sung. You know, everybody needs a few minutes to hug their friends goodbye and all that good stuff. But you know, before you'll be part of the process to decide when the sweeps are going to take place, and that's a discussion that we'll have. You know, either the day of or in advance of.
For sure. Yeah, we can close all that out. It's really, I'm excited for you guys to witness and experience what we cultivate, because it's like the bass is so they just do everything. You know, it's at every magnitude. Like we've seen it happen with 7,500 and with 500. So it's going to be great for everybody to see and witness that type of experience, and the people to realize that this is home for us too, and they get to enjoy these kind of experiences, you know, in this manner.
You're pretty popular. Are we gonna get any? It's your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. Any special guests coming that we should be forewarned about?
It is some possibility.
What's the plan on how we're gonna handle that?
It is some possibility. There are special guests that are pretty large. So we really, I would hope we could bring them through this entrance side that we just came through for the meeting, for the people that are more like, you know, preserved, because there may be some, which we won't fully know until closer to the date, but I mean, it'll be a pretty smooth feel. Like we've had really big people come to just our smaller shows, and they're familiar with how we do it, and they immerse themselves within the people. So I don't think it'll be a big deal, but as long as we have a back area that we can kind of bring them through, so they.
So when you came in today, you came on the Sage gate.
Yeah.
And maybe like an additional green room for that.
And that would we could bring them all the way around the back, right into back of house. That way.
Yes. Yes, actually, this way.
We did that. Yeah, got you.
You guys, you don't have carts, or you do have carts?
We have what, half dozen golf carts?
4.
Okay.
Love. We have 4.
They're not the best of cars, but
They get
get you around and be walking.
And are you going to advertise these special guests, or are they going to be more of a surprise to the
It'll
crowd?
all be a surprise. So the show, the only advertised artist is really myself.
Okay.
Like the LARUSSEL'S and Company.
Now, as far as cars go, you need them to transport material or what?
Just people.
Oh,
Yeah, like if the guests need it, or like my parents are a bit older, so my dad or one of them, or
because like she was saying, if they come through the Sage Street gate, they can go all the way around.
We can
to
take
the back
them all
of
the way to your back of your stage and
Perfect.
actually park them in that section.
They're going to be the only ones to come through, the ones that you want to come through.
Yeah.
So everybody else can come through there.
Sage is kind of a restricted gate. So on your particular day, we have a satellite horse racing facility where people can bet on the ponies. So during the day before your concert in the morning, we'll have our race crowd coming in, but they're sectioned off in their own parking lot. And our plan from our facility side is the week before your event, all of our normal regulars will get a car pass to come through that gate, and they typically just park in their section by the building, which is just down the road here in the middle of the white building. And then the rest of the traffic that comes back there would only be for your event coming around to your backstage, and you'll probably we kind of have a tentative map going for your event. So you'll have this blue area is your concert arena. So there's usually some temporary fencing back here so that your patrons can't come around the arena, and this is your back of house. So we can actually park your parents back there behind your stage.
Perfect.
With you, and any other of your special guests, we could, sneak them in and escort them, and they'll be back there before anybody even knows that they're here.
When we run out of space there, they can always park in the livestock. I see a lot of them parking in.
Yeah, we have some
Like
room
keep
for
the car in the shade.
for your personal party.
What is the car capacity in that back area?
10, 15.
Oh yeah, we'll be
Something like that. With the livestock, you can put 30, 40, 50 cars in there if you want to.
Yeah.
And it's right next to your stage.
Or
We can
depending
actually
on,
take a walk out there today. Perfect.
if you have somebody coming in a bus, we can accommodate that on our Mexican promoter personal band for 14, 15, 16 pieces. They come out in a big Provost or a bus like that. We can accommodate 2 of those back there, sometimes more, depending on your stage placement and what room is at back of house and how we set that up. We've been able to get 4 buses back there, but they've been lined all the way back inside actually the arena behind, so the buses have to be in place before you start and can't move until after you're done because of the crowd, because they're immersed back there. But there's several variations that we could do depending on it. The more you know what's coming at us.
And as far as the race place, people that gamble, they know basically they come through Sage. And I'm gonna make announcements for the next 2 weeks to let them know. They come through that gate. Right now we're doing some work in there, construction, but we'll start back Friday. As of Friday, every day I'm gonna make 3 or 4 announcements in Spanish and in English. Let them know. They normally come through that gate because they don't want that problem up there. So when they see parking and stuff coming through that gate, they come through here because they know we're gonna let them in through here. And I think you have the kiddie corner, the daycare. I think they don't come on.
They don't come on Saturday.
So we don't have to worry about that.
We need to talk to the Gem Society and make sure that they're not going to be doing an event.
I'll let them know.
And we need to figure out the drag racing guys that are in this so
But so
something Sunday morning.
Saturday was the multi-event day.
Right.
But we're looking at Saturday or Sunday.
We're looking at Sunday.
Clear. Okay, perfect.
So the stereo event play that's happening in Expo Hall, they'll be packing up because their event wraps up much earlier in the day. So there'll be some of them leaving, but we also have other dates that we can route them through too. So.
Beautiful.
That is the nice thing about this place is there are always options.
And it'll be the same like if we have a plan on the parking lot, because, you know, since you're just the main act and people are going to all tend to want to come on, we have a contingency plan coming in for parking to route everybody off Fairgrounds Drive, because if the car lines get too long, we block off access to 37 in the north and 80 on the south, so we have a plan B there. To keep the roads clear and to keep SL and FOIA PD happy with traffic, and then once they get to the Half Dome and they get searched there, there'll be temp fencing that'll help lead them down more to the concert arena, so guests don't get lost in various parts of the fairgrounds. And did you decide, are we wanting bag checking at the Half Dome?
That seems like
That's the white tented looking thing up here in the front. That's we call it Half Dome. And that was one of the things we looked at, was checking them there versus waiting for them to get all the way into the arena.
Yeah, because as soon as they get onto the grounds, I'd like it to become like a nice, friendly, happy
They're
place.
free to go, and there's not another checkpoint.
Right. We call it the walk-in gate. It's the 2 double gates right there with the big half dome pin over it. And they normally check people right there before they come into the arena, before they come into the grounds. Straight from the parking lot, straight into the ground. Make it easier for everybody. You won't have no crowd out there.
And we have a couple of those wiggly pop-up guys to kind of create like a party look.
Entertainment.
to draw them to the gate.
Before they pull in, they'll verify that they have a ticket, and then when they get to the
when they get to
dome.
here, since everybody has a ticket on their phone, the ops team suggested that once we bag check them and want them, that they get wristbanded.
Yep.
So that we, by sight, we know they've been checked. Just
So
that
is
way.
there-
And do we have a walkway for people who just walk, you know, like they do with Marine World? Because there's a lot of locals, so some of us are just going to walk the same way we do it.
Yeah, they would just walk through once they get here, if they come in the main fairgrounds gates where the parking cars do when they get here, parking staff will route them to the Half Dome walking in a safe way. If you go out there, you'll see a bunch of big water barrels lined up, and we make people walk there.
Nice.
If they walk in through the Sage Gate, then they would just be sent around to the Half Dome. They wouldn't be allowed to walk through Sage Gate. That traditionally is only a vehicle gate for events. That way we make sure all pedestrians go here, and then once they get here and they show us the ticket on the phone, after they're wanding and then bag checking in, they'll get a wristband and they'll be turned loose on the inside. Right.
So at that initial entrance, is there like a simple way for people to turn around? Let's say that they came and they didn't have a ticket.
Yeah, if they didn't have a ticket, we could turn them around there.
Okay, perfect.
And same here at Sage, it's a 3-point avenue, so we could turn them around there. I was just more concerned about what happens when we get 5, 6, 7, 10 cars piled up at the same time. If we did, that doesn't have a ticket.
We should have, as people are coming in, we should have one direction that's just for turnarounds and one that goes.
Yeah, we have that at the parking stalls at the front.
Out there where you see the booths at, that's where they can turn around and go right back out.
2 lanes are in and 1 lane's out.
When they leave the arena, when they leave the show, that's where they be going out at both sides. And we have signs up.
Yeah, and we actually turn the in lanes into out lanes at the end of the event, so all 3 lanes are out.
Make it easy to get in and get out.
And it kind of goes on the way out. It'll go 3 lanes and then it'll go to 2 lanes at the light. The SO is going to require all the patrons to make a right at our main parking gate. There won't be a left.
Okay.
So they're just going to be making a right and funnel down here to the 37 on ramp, where they can either get on 37. Well, they all have to get on 37 east or west, and those going east can choose to get on 80 that way, but we don't allow a left turn at that main gate.
Traffic.
How early are we going to open up parking?
Early.
You know?
Probably a few hours ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
What time would you like to see that blessed event at?
What time do you want to do like doors, or say you want to be on stage by so we can plan ahead of time?
I would say doors at 2, show by 4, we'll be wrapped by 6.
So parking open at 1.
So parking lot opens at noon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 hours to get them.
We'll say noon, but once we finish the sound check and everything is good inside, if we're early, we can open up and just let it start happening.
What time sound check? Do you have any idea?
Probably do it at 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Oh, gotcha. I know we don't have any alcohol, and I'm worried about people smoking weed, which is legal. We don't have any problem with that. We just noticed that when we do other marijuana events, we tend to have people with medicals. You know, they smoke weed all day, but they didn't eat, or they didn't drink, or they're diabetic, or they had a bad brownie. Or does anything like that happen at any of your previous concerts? Do we need to have some kind of medical service, or what do they call that, BLS? Ambulance, or
I think EMT is always helpful, just because we don't know the weather either.
Right,
when people get excited and jump, dehydration is just common.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the biggest thing we have at the pop festival is that the first aid calls are people that just didn't hydrate all day. And then it got warm, maybe 89 or 90 degrees, and we're little flowers here in Vallejo. We're used to the cool air, so when it gets a little hot, everybody has a little bit of a fit. So we'll put that down that we need to get that.
Did somebody say EMT?
Yes.
Oh, is he there?
He is, Steven.
Oh, look at he popped up just on call.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, I've been here the whole time.
Oh.
So essentially, similar call is what we do for the Valdivia show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
There he is.
where will you have us staging this round? Did you, Steve? I'm sorry, I don't think I heard everything you said there.
That's okay. So you'll be in the arena. So think of this as being very similar to what we've been doing for the Hispanic shows.
Okay, and entering stage, going up and around to the concert arena.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Probably
And then if the call comes in, you want our units coming in through stage?
Yes, please.
As we normally do.
Yep. Same
How
for,
many are we expecting?
good question.
It's our first time, so he's thinking maybe 2,500 or more.
Okay.
But tickets all have to be purchased pre-sale, so I'm assuming you'll give us a count going in that week, so we can monitor that count for 5 days before the concert.
Okay, yeah. So for anyone in there that may not know, we're providing BLS services, Steve.
Yes, sir.
They'll be there on standby, and so if anything beyond minor cuts and scrapes, anybody that needs advance care, they'll call for a 911 ambulance, and a 911 unit and fire will be dispatched.
Understood.
Cool.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
I don't, but
Are they gonna? Will there be an event radio that you want our crew to have, or they'll just
Yes.
be waiting for someone to flag them down?
both.
Okay. Great.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, the parking and all that stuff is like essential for that. Cause I think last time something happened, they couldn't get in, right?
No, they were able to get in.
They were able to get in. Oh, okay. So it's like we gotta keep the flow moving. So
We
that's
have
good.
enough gates, everybody can order.
Yes.
We might have to send somebody off with a golf cart with a magic key, but they can get in.
That would be Lewis. Save my bacon every time.
Just come through that same street gate. You'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you want to go.
Really? You got it.
So, any questions for me? Do you want to go walk some dirt? What would you like to do?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Okay.
As long as the guests can come through Sage and get in, we got parking figured out. Yeah, I think I'm good. Everything else, like I said, we're gonna over communicate in the messaging and marketing for this, just so people are fully aware. But
And they'll get everything, every policy, everything that they need to know with their ticket. So
Okay.
that'll be communicated with them as well.
So the VIP parking is going to be like along the preschool?
No, it'll either be in the sheep barn or in the backstage area.
Okay.
Probably, really the only question at this point I'm unclear on is the attendance we're going to plan from.
yeah, I say 2,500.
Okay.
And I think as tickets maneuver and move, like if we were to announce first day and do 1,500, then I think we could all indicate and say, hey, maybe we'll go to this and cut it. But we have the power to cut it wherever. So yeah, I think just initially plan 2,500 and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Are you gonna have cars drive up and they can buy tickets in, or once the cutoff is there, the cutoff is there?
Yeah, there'll be absolutely no door tickets.
Right.
And we'll say that every single time we announce it.
So they'll understand. There's no need to come and get pissed off if you don't have a ticket.
And we'll have it advertised with it as well. Yeah, don't know. And every show we don't do door tickets. We haven't done door tickets in a long time. So.
Because we experience with other concerts, they have what they call a walk-up. And then you end up with 4, 5 extra 100 people.
Yes.
You know, that you didn't plan for. If we can handle this, but we didn't plan for.
Yeah, no, we absolutely won't do any door tickets.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Guess we're done.
I guess we're doing this thing.
Let's do it.
You guys will walk you back there, or you good?
I think we're good. We got it last time.
Because it's real simple.
Yeah.
Once you come in that day, it'll be all set up.
Yeah. And now that you get closer to the date, we'll probably be seeing us a lot more.
So,
Yeah.
Because you'll need to build the stage and everything too.
So, perfect.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
all right.
Thank you, Steve.